New tonight, people living inside DeKalb County say they've tried everything, but they simply cannot get one of their neighbors to tone it down. Most every day, this man is out shouting obscenities at every person who drives down their street. He's been doing it for years. We've been telling you about it. Police say there's nothing they can do to stop him. But the night team's Dante Renzulli is checking into whether that's actually true. And Dante, we've been following this story for months, as I said. What more have you learned tonight?
Well, Sharon, police seem to have convinced themselves that this man's screaming offensive language to every person he sees, including children, is some kind of free speech issue. And yet we can point to other people who don't seem to enjoy those same protections.
You hypocrite.
Almost every day for the past 7 years, neighbors say this man has stood on the sidewalk outside his house and shouted at people of all ages.
Vulgarities and flipping off people and yelling at people like that. The thing I hate about it is that I have to explain it to my grandchildren when I drive by there.
Our Kim Passoth confronted James Avery at his door last week.
What about little kids on a school bus?
Well, yeah, they don't learn these words anyway.
Neighbors used to call police, but every time an officer arrived, the answer was always the same.
They say that there's nothing that they can do.
They said there wasn't a crime being committed.
It has me wondering if whether there's a double standard happening here. For example, if I was in the DeKalb CEO's neighborhood right across the street from his house, shouting and giving the finger to every car that went by, how long would that last?
I don't know if he's within the law or not.
Yo, you really got these cuffs on me, have you?
We know actor Shia LaBeouf was recently arrested in Savannah for doing something very similar. In the police report, officers say LaBeouf committed disorderly conduct when he shouted the F word around children. I asked DeKalb police, what's the difference between that and what's happening here? They sent me a copy of the state law which clearly says anyone who disturbs the peace and uses obscene, vulgar, or profane language around a child under 14 can be arrested for disorderly conduct. But someone has to be a witness, and police claim no one's ever willing to do that.
I think there's plenty of people in this neighborhood who would be a witness.
I'd absolutely be a witness.
Either all these neighbors are lying to me, or police have got it wrong. Suggested that the neighbors go after him with code enforcement for his yard signs, and they did do that. A judge ended up giving him a $10,000 fine and 5 years probation, but it hasn't stopped the shouting. I'm going to go back to police with these neighbors' concerns, and I'll keep at them with answers.